underbelly of the male is black, but the underbelly of the female is white. Or you can't really see in the glove.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry, we didn't fix this. I didn't know it was out.
Smaller than
Or I would have been over here.
This is the.
Okay, guys. this
Which
is
one's the
ready.
male and which one's
Hey,
the
family, if you didn't see the comment, no, we have to go ask that question.
Which one's the male and which one's the female?
Anyway, you can just press. Look.
What was the world like before the flood? Ah, good question. When I was a young boy, much of the world was beautiful, and many people still loved and served the Creator. But the generations that followed grew extremely corrupt and violent. The world became such a dreadful place. God is now washing it clean.
The next one, come on.
How was I able to fit all the animals? Ah, good question. But fitting the animals on the ark was actually not too difficult.
I didn't get that
You
one.
see, God knew just how big the ark would need to be. So his instructions were perfect to fit
For a second.
all the
Excuse me,
animals
excuse me.
and all the needed food and supplies. And thankfully, God didn't send the largest of each kind. Oh, I should know this one. Imzaga's listening. We've been married for a little over 550 years.
Wow.
Has it been that long already? My, how time flies. Oh, you can see reminders of our anniversaries on that shelf over there. Imzara, my dear, you do love that letter.
Next one, come.
Any more questions?
Fast, man.
Why don't I look 600? What do you mean? I look about the same age as any other 600-year-old person I've met. Well, except for my wife, of course. She doesn't look a day past 400.
If you say so, dear.
Imzara's still as beautiful as she was on our wedding day.
How big was your butt?
Ah, good question. Right now, I'm documenting some of the terrible things that happened before the flood. I need to warn my children and their children after them what can happen if they do not follow the Creator and His ways.
Right here. Abram.
Haha, that's a good question.
Abram.
My favorite animal. There are so many to choose from. Ooh, I like the tiny hovering bird that can fly in all directions, even backwards. My wife, she likes that tall, long-necked brown and white animal with the fuzzy knobs on its head.
Giraffe. Number one.
Why does my globe only have one landmass? That's a good question.
Where is it?
Well, when the Creator made the world, He gathered all the water together in one place, which is why you see only one landmass on that globe. Oh, I have traveled and explored much of the land and seen so many great marvels. But that world is gone now, buried under the waters of the flood. I wonder what the new world will be like.
Number one.
No, let me forget. Let me forget.
How did I find all the animals? Well, it really wasn't hard to find the animals, since God brought them right to me, just as He said He would. I just wondered when He would send them. We were nearly finished building the ark when hundreds of spectacular animals arrived. I should have known. God's timing is perfect, and He always keeps His promises.
Which one?
What's my least favorite kind of animal? Let me think. I don't know. All of God's creatures are special in some way. But if I had to choose right now, I would say that noisy bird that bores holes in wood all the time. Oh, why did I let Shim talk me into putting that aviary next to the living quarters? Well, God gave me the basic instructions to build the ark. Go for wood, 300 by 50 by 30, and that guided all that we did. I've been building boats most of my life, but of course never anything this large. So it took me a while to plan the construction, and there were some difficulties to overcome. But God is wise and knows everything, and He provides all we need. Oh my, a local flood? Who told you that? God said He was going to wipe out all flesh that lived on land. If He was speaking only of a local flood, it seems like God would have told me to move instead of spending decades building this ark. Plus, I wouldn't have needed to bring the flying creatures, since they could easily get away from a local flood. What was the world like before the flood? Ah, good question. When I was a young boy, much of the world was beautiful, and many people still loved and served the Creator. But the generations that followed grew extremely corrupt and violent. The world became such a dreadful place. God is now washing it clean. Good question. These two birds are here because my lovely wife Imzara, who's always been good with animals, wanted to train them to fetch items and carry messages. These were the best of all the birds she tried. Right, dear?
Yes, dear.
I don't know what we'll do with them yet, but I'm sure they'll come in handy.
Oh, the crow and a dove.
How many animals are on the ark? That's a good question. There are about 1,400 kinds of animals on the ark, and this works out to be fewer than 7,000 animals. I don't remember the exact numbers. I put my son Shem in charge of keeping track of those details.
All of them? We did that
How
one.
did I find all the animals?
Yeah, we did that.
Well, it really wasn't hard to find the animals,
We did that.
since God brought them right to me, just as He said He would. I just wondered when He would send them. We were nearly finished building the ark when hundreds of spectacular animals arrived. I should have known. God's timing is perfect, and He always keeps His promises.
Okay.
Well, I must get back to work.
Excuse me, ma'am.
How did I find all the animals? Well, it really wasn't hard to find the animals, since God brought him right to me.
No,
It was
Noah's.
Dr. No.
No, not Dr. Crowley. That was a Noah's one too.
No, it was somebody else, I think.
No, there was one. Not the
All right, okay, let's not argue.
No, because no, the other one didn't have 13 and 14. That's the only one that didn't.